Hello guys and welcome to another Nobbins video. Erling Haaland is injured, potentially for the rest of the Premier League season. That's bad, that's no bueno. Purpose of today's video is to outline, can City cope without him? How might City cope without him in terms of what players should be on the pitch in Haaland's absence? There's been a lot of suggestions online and I disagree with the vast majority of them, so let's just get straight to it, shall we? Haaland scored 21 league goals. Manchester City. He has scored 21 league goals for City this season. We have scored in total 54 league goals in terms of goals scored by City players. It's actually 55, but one of those is an own goal. So obviously, Haaland is the chief source of goals for City. That's not new information. That's not in dispute. So how can one replicate that? Well, you can't really, obviously. But surely the bare minimum, what we should be doing is at least getting our second highest goal scorer on the pitch. Now that would be Phil Foden. 7 league goals is not enough, but it's still nevertheless the second best. In terms of all comps, he's the only other player in terms of double-digit goals. This is why it's confusing me a little bit in terms of the suggestions that are coming out in terms of, who City should be playing instead of Haaland. Now, obviously, Marmoush should come in and be the direct, like-for-like alternative to Haaland, at least in terms of position, if not in terms of profile. It's not Marmoush's best position. He's not a lone striker. He's not an out-and-out 9, but we are sort of limited here right now. He was brought in to be a versatile forward and to give Haaland some rest. Now is the time for him to play in that position. So that's fine. There's no doubting that Marmoush should be starting. But again, what I'm seeing a lot online is this idea that, and it's informed by the Bournemouth cameo from Jack Grealish. Lots of people are saying, get Jack Grealish in the side, get him starting. He scored 0 league goals for City this season. You guys know I'm a big Jack Grealish fan. I'm a big defender of his, have been in the past, haven't really been defending him this season. I just don't really know where this has come from. That cameo was good against Bournemouth, but let's be practical and let's be realistic. He was brought on to see out the game, to close it out, to ensure City get the victory. That is very different to starting a game and potentially contributing in terms of direct output and in terms of production. Certainly in terms of goal scoring and goal output and productivity. The two are night and day. They are not the same. I don't really know where it's coming from that Grealish should be starting. Very different game state. He's not that sort of player, or rather hasn't been this season for the most part. He's hardly started in like the last 20 or so games. I don't know the exact starting data. I believe it's around 5 starts in the last 20 games. So I don't really know where it's coming from that he should be the one to start. If you look at the City squad and you look at the players who have scored goals this season, as I say, Haaland has scored the main amount of goals in the Premier League with 21. Thereafter, it is slim pickings. Foden, I've touched on, has got 7 Premier League goals. And he is just, in general, has proven to be a consistent goal scorer throughout his Manchester City career. He scores the goals. He puts the ball in the back of the net. Thereafter, you are looking at Joško Guardiola. Now, he's got 5 goals, which is good for a defender, but that's the key, isn't it? He's a defender. Is it sustainable or reasonable to be saying, okay, Guardiola, keep contributing with the goals? After Guardiola, Marmoush, as we've touched on, with 4 goals, and obviously he's going to start. I will caveat that by saying 3 of those did come in one game against Newcastle. Obviously doesn't take the goals away, but he has only scored in 2 different league games for City this season. Of course, in a smaller sample size, but it's still worth pointing out. He's also not going to be playing his best position. He's not a 9. He's not an out-and-out striker. Then you're looking at Kovacic, 4 goals. This is his highest scoring season for City. He never scored that many goals for Chelsea in the league either. I don't know his Real Madrid numbers off the top of my head. I'd imagine this is his highest scoring season in the league. Then you're looking at Doku, 3 goals. Decent return, fine. And that's it in terms of players who've scored more than 2 goals. It is slim pickings. I just don't quite understand, and maybe you guys can let me know your thoughts in the comment section. If your best goal scorer is out of action, why would you then take out your second best goal scorer based on this season's form and just based on what that sort of player is in terms of what they have illustrated across their club career. I just personally don't really understand it. I think it's very odd and very confusing. I think that the only correct answer in terms of what lineup should City see throughout the majority of this league season, it should be one that incorporates City's best goal scorers. That would be Marmoush, and that would be Foden. Of course, Guardiola is going to play, but you can't really rely on him to score goals. He is a defender. He's already overperforming in that sense. I've seen some, suggested lineups where they are including, wide players with players who've scored 0 league goals this season. I retweeted one today, actually. I'm very confused at that. Midfields are being recommended where these players haven't actually scored a goal in the league, or rather, combined, they've scored 1 league goal between them, It's very odd and confusing. If we add up, Savio, I love Savio as a player. He's got 1 goal in the Premier League this season. Savio's got 1. Again, Kevin De Bruyne, love him. He's only got 2 Premier League goals. Doku, fantastic player. He's got 3. So all of those 3 players added up together, it's 6, which is still less than what our second best goal scorer has achieved this season in respect of the league. This isn't a case of trying to big that stat up. It's not a case of, trying to hype it up. It's just a reality. I would have thought it would have been a logical one that if your best goal scorer isn't there, if your most consistent goal scorer isn't there, get the second best one in there based on precedent, based on club form, based on this season as well. That's got to be the first port of call for me, simply just to get the goal scorers on the pitch. And replacing our second best goal scorer with someone who just doesn't score goals in Jack Grealish. And that's not even a dig. Again, big Grealish fan. The reality is he just doesn't score goals. Certainly not based on this season. In fact, how many has he even got in all comps? I know he scored a penalty, if memory serves. 2 goals in all competitions. Yeah, 1 in the Champions League, 1 in the FA Cup. There we go. 1 in the FA Cup. There we go. Yeah. So we're not looking at a player who's going to be, filling that Haaland void. Of course, we do need some individuals to just get better in front of goal. Savio, for example, only 1 goal is not good enough. I know it's his first season. I've been very impressed with his first season. Those numbers obviously need to increase. And also just fundamentally, we can even take it away from goals for a moment. We need shooters as well. That's the thing. On Savio, okay, the goal scoring hasn't been good enough. At least Savio shoots. Do you know what I mean? Foden shoots. Not enough of our players take shots. I know that, I liked the cameo from Grealish against Bournemouth. There were so many instances where he just should have had a shot. And that's another issue with this idea of introducing Grealish to fill that Haaland void or try to fill it or, try to mitigate it. If you are adding this player who in the first instance doesn't score that many goals and then also just doesn't shoot that often, and you're replacing the player who clearly does score a lot of goals and does shoot a lot, it just seems a bit of backwards logic to me. Don't quite, as I say, I know I keep repeating myself, I just don't quite understand it. I just wanted to make a really quick video on that. Let me know, do you like the concept of these videos where it's pretty minimalistic and short and I just chat to you for, around 10-ish minutes? Let me know if that's good as a concept. And analysis videos will be making a comeback. Let me know if you'd like these sorts of videos in addition to it. If I have a thought and I want to get it out there, let me know if you'd be interested in that in the comment section. Please leave a like on the video. It is free and it does really help. Thank you guys so much for watching, and let me know how would you try to fill the void of Haaland's goals. The way I would fill it is by, it sounds very simple, I would simply get our other goal scorers on the pitch. Let me know if you guys have got any more inventive ways to replace that though. Thank you guys so much for watching. Shout out to all my members and supporters over on Patreon who are on the screen right now. Again, analysis videos are making a comeback, I promise. See you guys next time.